There's a skeleton key to winning your fantasy leagues, and today I'm going to reveal it. Year after year, we see rookies come into the league and immediately deliver high-end fantasy production. And because there's always uncertainty when projecting college players to the NFL level, we can often get these guys at a discount in drafts. Hell, Garrett Wilson was a 12th round pick all of last summer. I'm Peter Overzet, and let's dive into the 5 rookies who are gonna crush right out of the gate in 2023. While this is not the best incoming rookie class compared to previous ones, I mean, seriously, we've been absolutely spoiled by wide receivers the past 3 years. There are still a handful of guys with truly high-end talent that can help us win leagues right out of the gate. Let's start out with the crown jewel of this class, Texas running back Bijan Robinson. You've probably heard it all by now. Bijan Robinson is and go ahead, take a drink, a generational running back prospect with perfect size, great athleticism, and gaudy college production numbers. He's a lock to be the first running back off the board in the 2023 draft class, and he might even go in the top 10 picks if some of these mock drafts are correct. Don't ever count out Arthur Smith for doing something crazy. We know the man loves to run the ball. Not only is Bijan big and fast, but he's also elusive. Per Pro Football Focus, his 104 missed tackles last year led all college running backs. And 1,071 of Robinson's 1,575 rushing yards came after contact. And yes, he can catch passes too. This man can truly do it all. It's hard to poke holes in Bijan's game, but if you really want to pick nits, and what's the point of playing fantasy football and analyzing it if we can't pick nits? You can say that his 4.46 40 shows solid speed, but not elite speed. There's also a chance his future team doesn't utilize him in the passing game enough, similar to what we've seen happen with Travis Etienne in Jacksonville. Side note, please, for the love of God, throw the ball to Travis, Trevor. Bijan is a throwback to the bell cow backs of yesteryear. There are very few running backs in the league now who possess the size and the talent to never come off the field, and Bijan is already one of them. He's well deserving of his current cost in fantasy drafts at the 1-2 turn, and he should be the 101 overall pick in all dynasty leagues. As far as comparisons, rookie year Zeke Elliott had an ADP of 11.8, and rookie year Saquon Barkley had an ADP of 7.9, and both of them finished as high-end RB1s. There's no reason Bijan can't replicate the same thing in his rookie year. Load up. Next up, we have Alabama running back Jahmyr Gibbs. Gibbs is fast. No, seriously, like really fast. He ran a 4.36 40 at the NFL Combine. This isn't your typical Alabama bulldozer running back. Hi, Eddie Lacy. He's also explosive. He notched a 27.2% explosive run rate and the 6th most yards before contact of all eligible college running backs. He can catch the ball too, which is also a very important skill in today's modern NFL. He's tied for first in the class when it comes to targets per route run. When you add it all up, Gibbs has the perfect profile for making big fantasy plays in both the running and the receiving game at the next level. If you want to poke holes in Gibbs' profile, you can hit him with the too small. Sorry, little guy. The truth is, Gibbs does not have the profile to be a high volume grinder between the tackles, and he might even struggle with pass protection. There are certainly risks to Gibbs' profile. We've seen plenty of smaller electric backs come into the league and not carve out a big role. Players like DeAndre Swift have teased us for years because their coaches refuse to saddle them up with a significant amount of carries. But this is still a profile we want to bet on because when it does hit, it hits in a big way. Gibbs' price in the 6th round of fantasy drafts right now is perfectly fair. How about this for a high-end comp? CJ Spiller. Remember him? I know the Bills fans out there do. Spiller's 2012 season, where he had over 1,700 scrimmage yards and 8 total TDs, is a good barometer for what a high-end ceiling outcome could look like for Gibbs. Now we just need to get him to the perfect land spot where he can cook. Dolphins would be pretty fun for Gibbs. Just saying. Fins up. All right, next up, we have quarterback Anthony Richardson, the most polarizing player in this entire draft class. If you want to hear the elevator pitch on Anthony Richardson, well, it'll take less than half a floor. He's the most athletic quarterback prospect of all time. See ya, have a great day. At 6'4", 244 pounds, he set records in both the vertical and the broad jumps, as well as clocked a blazing 4.44 40 time. Richardson basically looks like a quarterback you'd create in Madden that shouldn't actually be realistic. The dude literally has the same size and measurables as Derrick Henry. We've never seen anything like this. Does it sound too good to be true? Well, it honestly might be. Richardson struggled as a passer during his 1 year as a starter at Florida. His success percentage and completion percentage are both extremely low for quality NFL quarterback prospects, but he's also not the first raw quarterback prospect to enter the league and then later develop as a passer. The range of outcomes on Richardson is wide. This dude could seriously be the next Jalen Hurts, or he could be starting for the St. Louis Battlehawks in 2 years. But the upside is undeniable. Richardson is a lock to go in the top 10 picks of this NFL draft, and he might even go in the top 5. And even if he's terrible as a passer at the next level, he still has upside to rush for 750 plus yards as a rookie, which would give him 100 plus fantasy point potential on the ground alone. He's a very strong selection in your fantasy drafts right now where he's going around pick 150. And if you're looking for a good comp, 2017 Cam Newton or even 2022 Justin Fields are good ones. Newton delivered 315 fantasy points with only 3,302 passing yards in 2017, and Fields registered 309 fantasy points with only 2,242 yards coming through the air in 2022. Both of those are well within the range of outcomes for Richardson. On to the wide receivers. Ohio State wide receiver Jaxon Smith-Njigba. As a 19-year-old, JSN had a massive sophomore season at Ohio State where he amassed almost 1,600 receiving yards and earned a 23% target share. And here's where it gets truly incredible what JSN did. He did all of this while competing for targets with NFL superstar wide receivers Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave. He then torched the agility drills at the combine, posting truly elite numbers in the short shuttle and the 3-cone drill. JSN is considered a route technician who thrives over the middle of the field and has great ball skills. Or so I'm told. That's what the tape grinders tell me. JSN has become a bit of a polarizing prospect because he missed most of his junior year after suffering a hamstring injury in early 2021. There have also been some whispers that he's not fast enough to be a truly elite NFL wide receiver. Although his perfectly respectable 4.48 40 at his pro day puts some of those concerns to rest. JSN is likely to be either the first or second wide receiver off the board in this year's draft, and fantasy drafters are already aggressively targeting him in the early 5th round of fantasy drafts. Dwayne's wide receiver model compares JSN to both Devonta Smith and Jerry Jeudy based on college production metrics and expected draft capital. But the name that comes up most for JSN is Amon-Ra St. Brown, who many remember went scorched earth down the stretch of his rookie season as a high-volume target earner. That's well within the range of outcomes for JSN depending where he lands. Next up, TCU wide receiver Quentin Johnston. At 6'3", 208 pounds, Johnston is a throwback to the big-bodied wide receivers who used to be in vogue as first-round NFL draft selections. His strength is down the field as a vertical threat, where his career average depth of target was a hefty 15.6 yards. He also dominated against press man coverage with gaudy target per route run numbers and yards per route run. And finally, Johnston is actually really good after the catch, which gives him some added versatility compared to other contested catch specialists like Mike Williams. Despite being a downfield threat, his technique and success rate at the catch point is pretty poor. This could be an issue considering 45% of his career deep targets were contested. Another con, and this is likely random noise, but still, don't look at the recent history of wide receivers who came out of TCU. It ain't pretty. Yikes. Johnston's profile puts him firmly in boom-bust territory. The highs could be really high, but the lows could be very, very low, like Jonathan Baldwin level low. Do you even remember that name? I know, I just threw up in my mouth a little bit. Johnston seems likely to go in the first round of the NFL draft, and he could immediately become a top weapon for a team like the Houston Texans. He currently goes in round 7 of fantasy drafts, which is a little pricey, but there's definitely still some upside there if he gets really strong draft capital. It wouldn't shock me to see Johnston deliver a rookie year similar to T. Higgins' rookie year where he racked up 108 targets and 6 TDs. Dwayne's supermodel? likes Mike Williams as a high-end comp for Johnston, and also offers up Cortland Sutton as perhaps a comp on the lower range. For more of Dwayne's supermodel, and I mean, who wouldn't want to click on a face like this, head to fantasylife.com for more of our Dynasty articles and in-depth profiles.